Yeah. Greetings, everybody. This is Serpentine451 here, and welcome to another episode of Weeb Warriors. And joining me, like always, is Jordan. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm doing good. You?
Just enjoying my new place. Having to fight to actually get internet last week was just a big ordeal. Yeah, the episode that we had planned for last week kind of was squandered because I had to deal with an internet provider that pretty much sucked ass. But that's enough of that. Let's just get to our reviews. We have all the endings, well, all the last episodes for all of our shows. I was only able to see a full episode of Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring, both episodes of My Hero, and How Not to Summon a Demon Lord's last episode.
Yep.
I was going to watch the last episode of Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs and Cells at Work, but we got caught up in doing something else, so I never got the chance to do that.
I have seen them, so I can speak on them.
All right, very good. So what's on your queue, Jordan?
Well, I've actually removed everything from my queue because everything is done, but we can go ahead and talk about How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, since it's the first thing that I see up here.
Right.
How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, Episode 12, Battle for Legitimacy. So, Clem has awoken after the betrayal of Alicia and the supposed death of Rem, and has absolutely lost her fucking mind.
Right. We're in full Demon Lord.
Yes, we can see her full Demon Lord form, and it is somewhere between insectoid and maybe reptilian. Either way, pretty frightening to look at in a subdued anime sort of way. This is not a horror anime, obviously, so there's always going to be that. But flip side, the fight that Diablo pulled against Clem was pretty great. That spell that he let off after putting down those 12 points?
13.
13. Ridiculous. His magic is so overpowered that it sort of makes you wonder what the fuck kind of game this was in the first place.
Very true. Very true.
Who would ever meaningfully will do that?
Oh, this is so true. And when you have, it's just the name of the spell itself, a bit like Apocalypse Abyss. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my lord.
Of course, Diablo wins, sort of. I don't know. It's very hard to tell if it was Diablo's victory or the fact that Rem was alive and Clem decided to come back to her senses.
Oh no, it was more Rem being alive and her just saying, oh, the person that I really care about is alive now, so I'm not going to be a giant hate monster that will destroy everything.
Yeah. Which is a good thing, I guess? Question mark. Flip side, the demons, or the fallen, had gathered in response to the awakening of the Demon Lord, and when they saw that she unsummoned herself, immediately turned on Eldegard and Alicia. They had to fight their way back into the city, and Alicia was forced to interrupt Diablo's caking session to heal Eldegard. And ultimately, Diablo forgives Alicia after her attempt at suicide and tells her that death, something to the effect that death is not, don't think that you can escape into death. You haven't redeemed yourself yet. And she is now set out onto a personal journey to, I don't know, find herself, find value in humanity, one of the two. Maybe
I would say it's a combination of both, because since she lived a life where she saw the privileged individuals that were her parents and whatnot, and how they pretty much treated other beings horribly. She basically saw like the ugly side of humanity and wanted to kill all the mortal races because of that. And then the stupid shit, as it always tends to have happen, is the only way to get fucking Diablo's NP back up to speed is for all of them to get naked. And when I saw that part, it had me dying. Like what I was telling you earlier today, Jordan, like fucking hell, I was laughing my ass off.
Yep. It was pretty damn funny. If you ignore Clem. But I mean, who doesn't want to absorb mana via breast contact? I feel like every man on Earth would probably do that. Magic and titties, I don't really think I can think of too many people that would be opposed to that.
Yeah, true. I mean, I would be happy and satisfied if I was a wizard that was powered solely by, like, that my charger was the female anatomy. Yes, I would be very happy for that.
It's funny how many different series I just thought about in that exact moment when you said that sentence. It's a common enough trope, actually.
Yes,
Power
it is.
from women.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh my lord.
But yeah, I think it was a rather comedic and interesting end to an overall good series. I would not say that How to Summon a Demon Lord is going to hold an indefinite special spot in my heart. It wasn't that impressive, but it was definitely one of the stronger shows this season.
Yeah, and it was one of the shows that actually stayed during our initial purge of the season, so...
R.I.P. to Masters of Ragnarok.
This is true. I don't care how that show ended up, because it was dull as fuck.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't even tell you. I know it had to have ended at some point.
Oh, I know it did. I know it did. But it's still ass.
So, there's that. Next, we can talk about Cells at Work. Cells at Work, we have a 2-part hemorrhagic fever episode, well, hemorrhagic shock episode. In the first part, it seems to be a very normal setup. Our red blood cell gets a rookie that they are responsible for training, and as you can imagine, it is going poorly. Her trainee is much more competent than her, at least in the academic sense, and is very cool, calm, and collected, the complete opposite of our main character. So she goes through the body and introduces her to the various cells that she knows, and demonstrates just how much of a weirdo she actually is. We pretty much get to ignore a lot of that given the context of the show, but she just casually interacts with White Blood Cell as he's like murdering antigens and everyone else is cowering or running away from him. She also just seems to know everybody in the body, minus nameless cells. Then all hell breaks loose. There's a fucking nuclear explosion, pretty much, that ends up leading to the deaths of millions of blood cells.
Oh my god! Jesus!
And that's the end of the first part. Second part opens up and you think, oh, that must just be something else. No, millions of blood cells are gone. And they're still disappearing. The body attempts to compensate for the loss of blood and the decreased oxygen supply by increasing blood pressure and ends up forcing more blood into the fucking abyss. You literally watch hundreds of blood cells fall into the beyond and die. The cells begin to die of oxygen starvation as the remaining blood cells rush to try to transport oxygen. Also, good point to note, all this time, our main character has like doubled down, got her big girl pants on, and she is just toughing through all of it. Her rookie is like faltering at every step, and she is just like, no, We're blood cells. We deliver oxygen. Come on.
Holy shit. She has a badass moment? God.
Oh,
damn.
she's continuously badass throughout the whole thing. Then the body temperature drops. They have the rookie and her have a fight. She says, I'm going to continue to do my job till the bitter end, even if it means that the body dies. And of course, she inevitably succumbs to the snow, which is up to her thighs at this point, and she's fully covered in snow. Her hands are frozen, eyes are glazed over. She's moving purely on momentum at this point. For some reason, they don't believe in giving people pants even in the winter, although they did give her a winter jacket, which I felt was totally worthless.
Oh my god.
So she dies.
Oh. Oh.
No, I'm kidding. It looks like she's about to die until she gets woken up by a foreign blood cell. It seems that the body is getting a blood transfusion, and they begin delivering oxygen, and the body comes back into order. Ending.
Well, I'll be.
Yes, it was a wild ride, Tony. Honestly, you missed possibly the best episode of the entire season. And I would vote that Cells at Work is the best show this season.
You know what? With all the episodes that I've actually have seen and that have got me laughing uncontrollably, yeah, I would agree with you that Cells at Work is the best show that out of all the shows that we have reviewed this season.
Yeah, so
I will agree with you there.
I'm very excited, and I hope that we get a second season of this, but we shall see.
Yep, we shall know in the future.
Yep. All right. Next one up on the list is Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring. So Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring, we get episode 12, which...
Well, I did see episode 11. I'm still in the middle of episode 12. So...
Wait, you didn't see episode 11, but you're watching 12?
Oh, I saw episode 11, but I was in the middle of watching 12.
Ah, okay. Well, recap, since I don't believe we've talked about 11. Yes?
No, because since we took last week off, technically, to kind of catch up on everything.
Yes. Okay. So episode 11 is titled Dancing Cheek to Cheek with Yuna / Sagari and the Final Exam. In the first half, we get to witness the...
They go on their class trip and...
Yes.
And they are... It's just a continuation from what happened during the beach and all this other crazy bullshit.
Yeah, essentially at the end of episode 10, they go on a, what do they call it, test of courage. And the girls are conspiring to show the rest of the class that our boy, Kogarashi, is in fact a spirit medium and can see ghosts and is not a liar or trying to pull the wool over Chisaki's eyes or anyone else's. And to accomplish this, they try to conspire with Sagari and Urora.
Yeah, I think that's her name, yeah.
Yes. To summon some yokai that can be easily put down by Kogarashi, which is honestly anything less than a god at this point.
Or any plebeian being.
That fails because Uraha wants to see how very strong Kogarashi is, and she summons a yokai that is way too dangerous, and her and Sagari end up fighting and spoiling the whole thing. But two dipshits end up knocking over the seal of some bear insect chest head mouth thing monster
Looking yokai motherfucker.
Yep. And almost get the asshole eaten out. And Kogarashi steps in and, in typical fashion, suffocates himself before the monster and asked it not to kill anyone. So he doesn't actually punch it. And the monster decides, you know what? it's better just to get sealed again than to have to fight this man who is obviously stronger than the person that sealed me in the first place. So, you know,
And
Kogarashi,
before that, he bit into Kogarashi's arm. And
yes, he bit into his arm and cracked all his damn teeth.
And so this yokai was like, I'm not fucking with you. I'm going back home. And so that portion of the episode pretty much ends with Yuna and Kogarashi just having just cute moments together, and then they actually have a dance at the end. And let's talk about we have another Hyodo. We have another character named Hyodo, who is a massive pervert. Different series though, but this motherfucker, apparently, when he was trying to peek on the girls when they're at their taking their bath, Urara decided to send a yokai to basically tie him up by his ankle and have him hanging in the air like a goddamn piñata.
Poor stupid bastard.
Yep. And then I think the funniest part of the episode, well, it's definitely what happened to Sagiri and the Tanuki love potion.
Yeah, so the Tanuki makes Oboro. Yes, I don't know why I keep wanting to call her Ouroboros. A love potion which they hide in disgusting looking shaved ice. It gets mixed up inevitably, as it always is for these sorts of things, and Sagari ends up eating the love potion tainted shaved ice. She then confesses her love for Kogarashi, mounts him and makes him grab her breast, if I'm remembering all this correctly.
Yeah, it's pretty much she mounts him, basically just says, say something that will actually make me get rid of, like, basically saying, say something nice to me, damn it. I want this.
Yeah.
She's self-conscious about not showing her femininity.
Yeah. There's a whole taking off her shirt, trying to strip in front of him thing.
He's like, the fuck is happening?
Yeah. So that happens.
Yep. And that whole ordeal was like, oh, sweet baby Jesus. And apparently our resident Kakon medium is apparently in middle school. I did not know this.
I didn't think about her too much. I mean, once they introduced Jaya, I thought that she would have a more active role, but she's really... No, she's not.
No,
She is downplayed a lot. She doesn't even get as much screen time as No, that's not her name.
The fucking
No.
No.
Big titty orc woman.
Yeah, the
No, Oni. There it is.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Nonako.
Yes. She didn't get as much time as her, and or
her titty monster.
Yep. Either way, there's a bunch of them. That's not very informative. Either way, that happens.
Yeah, that was a thing. And then we have episode 12. So the portion of episode 12 that I know I saw is essentially 4 of our characters are off doing some other bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And the only people in the hot spring right now are Kogarashi, Yuna, Oboro, and Nonako.
Yep.
And fucking Nonako decided, oh, I have to mention this because, as per my usual, what the fuck was this woman wearing?
Triscuits and dental floss.
This is true. I mean, it's not leaving much to the imagination here. It's basically like nothing.
I mean, literally, you could accomplish the same with Triscuits and dental floss.
This is true. And so she cons our three other characters into viewing, like helping her with her manga chapter. In return, she goes to a private beach in Okinawa with all of them. They go to a private beach in Okinawa where some more fuckery happens, where Kogarashi had to basically put sun oil on all three girls.
Which is just like, come on now. Do people even use sun oil anymore? Is that even a thing?
It's like, this is the usual. And then the part that I pretty much stopped on is basically the local legend of two ghosts that died and haven't ascended to heaven yet because one fucker died in a car crash. Well, died in a motorcycle accident, and his girlfriend tried to save him because she was off to marry some other dude for convenience sake, but she wanted to elope with her boyfriend. But they both died, and the miserable fuck is too scared to talk to his girlfriend so they can go to heaven. All because his girlfriend may be pissed at him.
Which she was.
Oh, God.
So they eventually convince him to go over to her by saying that Kogarashi is going to forcibly ascend her. And when he gets over there, you think it's going to be this touching reunion. And when I tell you she fucking Hajime no Ippo Dempsey rolled this fool, like, oh my God, it was an ass whooping. I literally, it was a long ass whooping. She was really going in on him.
Oh, God, I can't wait to see that shit.
Like, Tony, it went from funny to like, okay, come on now.
Like, did it get to the point where, like, it was some of the fights in Megalobox sort of bad? Like, intense?
Yeah, you mean like blow for blow, your boy Joe versus Yuri sort of stuff? No, not that bad. Yo, I fucking love Megalobox.
Me too.
But no, it wasn't that bad, but it was a pretty serious ass beating. And then they ascend, right? They have fulfilled what exactly they came to do, and they ascend, which is all nice. One thing that people will know is that the opening scene shows Yuna in the opening scene of the series. Yuna is ascending at the hot tub at the hot spring, the inn, as if she's going to heaven, and Kogarashi is attempting to stop it. That does not come up in this final episode. In fact, it just ends with Kogarashi and Yuna having like this sweet moment about how they enjoy the mornings the way they are, even though Kogarashi gets thrown into a body of water every morning.
Yeah, that's just misleading if you're expecting that to happen at the end of the series.
Yeah, I suppose it has to deal with something that's going on in the manga, of which I am not reading. So it probably is teasing an ending or something near the ending. But I honestly don't know how many other ways this could end. Although, Tony, you haven't seen this, Yuna does not know how she died or who she was before she died. She has total amnesia. So she very well could be some other entity that just seems like a ghost. Nobody seems to know who she is. In fact, her name isn't even Yuna. She's named after the inn.
Ah, all right then.
Yeah, so she may be some other being. In fact, people call it to question what she was, given the amount of power that she has.
Oh boy.
We may be in for a loophole here, some fashion. She might be some sort of strange spiritual being, or she might just be astral projecting.
That could also be another possibility.
But who knows, right?
Another solid show, I would say.
Agreed.
So if we want to talk about like crazy bullshit powers, let's get down to our last show for this season. Oh, My Hero Academia episodes 62 and 63.
62 and 63. That is the I don't remember. I haven't seen 63.
63 is basically
But yes, I did. I don't know why it's not showing. Yeah, it's when they learn about the
the internships from the big
yes.
three.
Yes.
And episode 62 is essentially everyone learning this before Midoriya does.
Yeah, which is effectively the entire storyline of the episode. Like,
and also we get the point of view of Twice for a good portion of 62.
yeah. Oh nope, I have not seen 63. I lied.
Yeah, but 63, its episode title is called Unrivaled. Essentially, the big three that we meet at the end of episode 62, or we have knowledge of in 62, I should say.
Yeah, they're introduced at the end of 62.
Yeah, so
as the big three.
Yeah, they introduce themselves. This is where we meet Mirio, whom's quirk basically allows him to phase through a lot of shit, even through his own clothes.
Which he apparently does.
Yeah. And in the fight scene he has with the entirety of Class 1A, he destroys them.
Yes, I've already seen the gifs of him yelling power ass naked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his Tintin looking ass is strong. And the only way he got so strong was basically really training with his quirk. And also on top of this, we meet we haven't seen their quirks yet, but Hado and Tamaki, well, I say the girl's surname because I think it's Nijime is her first name. So Nijime and Tamaki. I remember Tamaki's quirk, but we haven't seen it yet. Tamaki is the dude who is with the pointed ears and basically facing towards the wall. Yeah, because this dude, he may seem intimidating, but he panics easily. And in episode, I think it's 63, when they were making their introductions, he was the first to speak out of the 30 years, out of the big three. And all three of them are 30 years, so he was trying to like make his introduction. Then everyone in the classroom's heads become potatoes, which is something related to his quirk, and he becomes terrified, and he decides to basically face the chalkboard out of nervousness. And Nijime's personality is basically she's a giant airhead with the mentality of a kindergartner, asking a whole bunch of questions about people's quirks. But the funniest thing with the whole questioning from her is when she asks Mineta a question about his quirk and how she refers to his hair as balls. And Mineta, being the pervert that he is, says, she wants to talk about my balls.
God damn it, Mineta.
Although, when it comes to Mineru and his quirk and how it essentially functions, poor Jiro was just too embarrassed to actually see this man's naked body. Because no one was ready. No one was ready to get the ass whooping of a lifetime. But if we want to talk about an ass whooping of a lifetime, we get introduced to the villain, like the villain for the main for the arc next season, Overhaul. And Overhaul is one of my favorite villains, if not my favorite villain of the series. We only get an inkling of who he is as a person.
Oh no, I saw his power and then I looked him up, and he is ridiculous. Also broken and so broken, so broken.
Mm-hmm. And his whole philosophy on life is fucking interesting for a villain of his archetype.
Is it
And
not
I cannot wait to see this. I cannot wait to see this arc actually get animated for season 4. And from what Jay explained to me, since I also read the manga myself, but I haven't been reading up to that point. This is the longest arc in My Hero, so it can definitely fit a 24 episode season that they typically do.
Then it should be interesting to proceed to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to it. I'm glad that My Hero has been doing as well as people predicted it would. Yeah. Oh goodness. Oh wow. We've already started, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was looking to see if there was any other shows on the list that we needed to talk about, and we have officially completed all the official reviews for the summer 2008 titles that we reviewed as a group. I will speak very briefly on two shows that I sort of looked at but didn't ultimately end up following all the way through with, or I did. So I finished Overlord, third season. Good as the first two. Can't wait to see more Ainzul gone, taking on the Empire. It's about to be a fucking wreck. He just summoned the black goats of Shub Nagroth.
Oh my god, no!
And oh my goodness. The terrible, terrible, terrible 3D animation is overshined by the fucking ridiculous abuse that these things unleash.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, essentially, Ainz pulls out a spell that kills 7,000 men at once as an offering to Shub, and then summons 5 black goats, which are about the size of a castle, and they just stomp the rest of the army to death.
Oh Lord! Oh Lord!
As his opening move, of course.
That's just the primer?
Yeah, that was just like step 1 of 2.
Oh my
The
god.
second one was gloat, I guess.
Oh shit. Oh no.
And I attempted to watch Lord of Vermilion, the Crimson King. I won't say it's terrible, but I am about 3 episodes into a 12-episode series, and I'm still not particularly interested in what's going on. Given the pacing of the anime, I would want the main character to be more competent, but they wanted to give him this deep emotional struggle, which sort of undermines his ability to act at any point. Long story short, being that there seem to be 2 opposing factions, one of which is known as, I want to say, the hero faction. And this faction of people inherit this ability to, one, ignore this mind compulsion that literally force sacrifices you to summon demons, and 2, use their blood as a weapon.
Oh, fuck.
So yeah, really interesting premise. Poor execution. Poor execution.
Well, instead of our typical otaku soapbox discussion, why don't we just opt to pretty much give a primer for the shows that we'll be talking about for fall?
Yeah, let's go to Anachart and check it out. Right now, I was saying that it started again because there's a new isekai, I guess.
Oh, I was reincarnated as a slime or whatnot?
Yes.
I have little to no interest in it because I've heard of this particular light novel and manga, and it just does not interest me in the slightest.
Well, I will check out at least the first episode and we can speak on it. But speaking of Crunchyroll, I would like to talk about
The new
that.
interface? or whatnot.
Yeah, new interface. Or fucking finally, they have added the goddamn buffering bar to the interface.
Oh my god, I did notice that when I was
Oh, sweet mercy.
laptop. Oh my fucking god, that is amazing.
Yep. Okay. So right off the back, oh, they got some good ones.
This
So right out the back, probably gonna have to obligatorily watch Sword Art Online Alicization, just so that we can. No, that's a light novel. I'm sorry. Is this TV? No. Yeah, it is TV. Oh, the source is a light novel. Oh yeah, Alicization, just so that we can finish dick riding Kirito and his fuckery. The final season of
I
Fairy
don't
Tail,
want
not
shit
watching
post it.
that. Goblin Slayer. I don't care what y'all watch. I'm watching it. Uh,
I agree. I'm gonna watch it because that manga is fucking brutal, and I want to see more of it. So
Tokyo Ghoul Re 2. I know we dropped Tokyo Ghoul Re, but it was not by choice. It was simply as it was. Toaru Matsuno Index 3. Oh, I want to watch it. I probably will watch it, but probably not for this.
yeah, probably in
Um,
our own free time. Well, in our resident audience member, my buddy Jeffrey, he actually has a recommendation, which is since uh, JoJo Part 5, Ventareo, is getting its anime adaptation this month, actually the 5th of this month, he would like to see us review it on Weeb Warriors.
I suppose. I don't watch JoJo, but
I mean, every part is its own self-contained story, and Part 5 is set in Italy,
okay.
with some minor like connections to the broader uh, JoJo franchise as a whole, but it's not by much.
Hmm.
Like some characters from previous series make a reappearance in Vento Aureo.
Okay then. I'll check it out. Flip side, there is a what is this? Action fantasy series, Ulysses Joan d'Arc to Riken no Kishi, which is a novel series that takes place in 15th century France during the Hundred Year War with England. Montmorency, the son of a noble, immerses himself in the study of magic and alchemy at a school for knights. Scenes backwards. However, after France's defeat at Agincourt, the school is disbanded, and the main character is forced to flee. While on the run, he meets a miraculous village girl named Jane. Uh,
Mm,
and it looks mighty violent.
well,
Uh,
I may
it does
have
not look like they're pulling too many punches with this, based on what I'm seeing in this clip. Uh,
Lord.
it
So
looks
we
like
may
I
have
might watch it.
so we may have a good idea of what shows we're going to be reviewing for this season for fall. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it looks. It look. How to put it? There's some potential here. I cannot say for full certainty too many things outside of Goblin Slayer. We will
yeah,
most definitely, with 100% certainty, even if it's bad, be reviewing Goblin Slayer because that manga is great. The anime should be great. Also,
yeah,
I'm going to fair warn everybody, it's going to open up with murder and rape, like
yeah.
episode one, probably 5 seconds in. That's
Oh
just how
yeah,
Goblin Slayer
like
is.
this is legit. Because we are not kidding when we say that this manga opens with fucking murder and rape. Yeah, we see at least two female characters get oh
Yeah.
those goblins show no mercy, and they literally ripped a dude to pieces.
Yeah, the Goblin Slayer, Goblin Slayer's not here to show
No.
mercy either. I'm watching the announcement trailer to see if I can get a sense of how gory they're going to go with this. The animation style seems to lend itself towards something that's more lighthearted. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was so
You're
wrong.
so wrong.
Oh, I was wrong. Oh,
Well,
the thing that you know what's going to bother me though?
what?
I haven't. They added unnecessary breast into this. I see. I haven't actually made a mental voice for Goblin Slayer. He's sort of mute in my head, which isn't true to form, but whatever, right?
Yeah, like, but there were breasts in the manga though. They were just
I'm sure that there were. It's just downplayed in my mind because of all the death.
yeah. We primarily focused on all the death instead of the titty.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. They're not cutting out anything. It seems good.
Oh joy, oh joy. Mm. Mm.
This is gonna be great.
Oh Lord Jesus. But all things considered, we might as well just. We have our definite show for sure for this season. All other shows for fall are tentative to shows that we might see and add on to the list for sure. So, and hopefully Jay will be joining us for this season since he was pretty much fucking gone for summer.
Just absolutely AFK.
Yeah. And speaking of Jay, he will be coming in at some point in time to talk My Hero because he actually will get his unhappy ass here.
Sure, if you say so.
Well, he told me himself he will get his unhappy ass here.
Okay.
After he's done with what he needs to do.
This is me believing you, Tony. This is me believing you.
There's a lot of things that I say, Jordan, and sometimes people don't really believe me. But essentially, yeah, all of our reviews and what we tentatively want to watch this season. On top of that, we should appreciate like the shows that we've watched this season. Even though we've only seen 4, they have been actually pretty solid shows, all things considered.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd just like to point out that we typically don't just, I mean, we do and we don't, but we typically don't watch everything that's hot this season. There are plenty of people that have liked other shows that were going on during the season. Let me go ahead and pick up an example. Attack on Titan season 3. We didn't watch it, but people loved it. We did not officially review Overlord 3. People liked it. The Hanabado. It was more. I heard more about it in the beginning, and it has since fallen more or less into obscurity. Everyone watched it. There was a Gintama series. There's a Boruto series. And then there are a lot of things that may still be worthwhile that fell through the cracks that I'm not sure if any of us even bothered to look at.
More than likely. And then there's the shows that we initially thought were going to be interesting, but were completely under ask, but I'm pretty sure people were watching because they were interested in it. Like Angels of Death and Hard Kind of Receive.
Mm-hmm. It had some potential, and then it just sort of fell off.
Mm-hmm.
At least in my opinion. And then there's some things that just shouldn't exist, like Yu-Gi-Oh! VRANs.
Yu-Gi-Oh! VRANs, that's actually a very good season, though.
If you say so.
Oh, it's actually quality. It's when you actually watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Any Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime subbed, there's a lot of like fucked up shit in it.
I suppose. But yeah, are we doing an anime soapbox or was...
Yeah, the Otaku Soapbox was essentially us pretty much giving up like a general idea of what we're going to be reviewing for fall.
Well, I have a question for you, Tony, since we have some time as we wait for Jeremy.
All right, sure
thing. What is your least favorite genre of anime, manga, light novels, however you want to slice it?
That is actually a good question. I would say a genre that I have next to no interest in is sports.
Really? But you love Megalobox.
Yeah, but for me, essentially, I have to be really invested in a sports anime. It's like a tentative dislike because since the only sport that I know how to play, well, few sports that I know how to play well is basketball, and I am an archer. So archery.
Makes sense.
And I have an interest in boxing, so that's why Megalobox is one of my favorite shows that is in my least favorite genre. And I would say that when it comes to manga, though, like it has like okay, with it's anime for sports in particular. Sports manga, I've found that there's one that I really enjoy. It because it has the secondary genre of comedy in it.
Mm.
It's called My Ball. It's essentially a soccer manga with about a girl who has been playing soccer with her childhood friend who is like an ace soccer player on his team. And so when he convinces her to join the all-girls soccer team due to her experience with training with him, she initially got into soccer because she wanted his dick.
Okay.
So, and just this manga in particular is very funny to see this girl who has little to no experience in actually playing soccer whatsoever go up against girls that are fucking crazy ass good players. Especially essentially her rival for all intents and purposes, because this girl wants to be acknowledged by the central male protagonist and our main character's love interest, because this character really wants his dick too, because he's like the best soccer player.
Is that just the beginning, middle, and end of this series? Like motivations.
No, other characters, because the male protagonist is essentially the coach for this team. And the arc that I was pretty much reading, they made a bet to. Oh, the last arc I can remember, whereas he was going to leave being their coach to do other shit.
Mm.
And so they tried their damnedest to basically win to keep him around. Yeah, so only 2 female characters are attracted to this guy that I can recall off the top of my head. But it's actually a very funny manga. I really enjoy it. And so I propose the same question to you, Jordan. Well, I already know this.
Do you?
But I'm gonna let you say it anyway.
It's got to be moe stuff.
Yeah. Since it's common knowledge.
Yep, it's moe stuff followed by lolicon stuff followed by anything with anthropomorphized animals.
Oh, really?
Yep, and Lord Jesus help you if you combine any of those two.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Then you would hate this one anime that's very popular.
No, it's why I was ready to like kill y'all when you were talking about trying to review Horse Girls. I was like, absolutely fucking not. No.
Uma Musume, I haven't finished it yet, so like I lost interest in it, or my focus on it was veered off.
Because I was just like, no, 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 and no, 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 no. Also, it's not that I have a strong opinion against, but I don't like gender bender animes because it just.
Oh, I can pretty much agree with you to some extent, because one of my least favorite anime and like least favorite things in this world that I have come across, because I find it so incredibly stupid, is a series called Camphor.
Yeah, my brother and my cousin love Camphor though, which I've never understood.
I fucking hate this thing so much. I hate it so much. It brings me to like utter rage.
But you want to know what series I have never been able to complete, even though I've started like 3-4 times?
Oh, I want to hear this.
Queen's Blade.
Oh my god. I mean,
I have never finished Queen's Blade. It is just way too much.
I mean, I've seen clips of this shit, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, I know.
I challenge you to watch Queen's Blade. You'll never be able to watch it with other human beings around, but if you can make it through Queen's Blade, all of Queen's Blade, because there's multiple seasons, you are a different type of individual as far as I'm concerned.
Am I like, would I have surpassed human limits in your honest opinion?
Honestly, yeah. Like, there's just something. I'll send. I'm going to put a clip in the Discord.
And oh Lord Jesus, this is gonna be good. Yeah. So to those who are watching, or our sole audience member, are my good friend Jeffrey, I propose this question to you then. If you haven't said this to me already, do you have a least favorite anime genre? If so, write it down in the comments section so I can actually like say it to the world. Oh, at least to Jordan and myself. Oh Lord, I'm anticipating this like utter nonsense that you're about to like show me here, Jordan.
I wish I could.
Oh, what the fuck is Corey doing?
Corey?
Yeah, Corey. This fucker is in Discord. He's online on Discord?
I don't know, man. What you want me to tell you?
Well, I often wonder what the fuck he normally does. To be fair, I never know. Oh. Oh, okay. So he says, Senpai noticed me again. I hate Guro and shock value stuff.
Well, definitely don't watch. Actually, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
It's like if I wanted to suffer, I'd read Western comics. Oh boy. Oh, this is why you're my friend. Because you make the jokes. You make good jokes. Oh, sweet Jesus. Jordan?
I want to say this sort of thing happens in like episode 1.
I see that her breasts are being covered by her hair that has hands at the end of it.
Yes, and they shoot acid out of her breast.
Oh, okay then. Okay then. Oh Lord, help me. Oh Lord, I want to see this. I want to see how fucking absurd this is.
That's all on you, my friend. Godspeed. But yeah, that's my opinion on things that I can't stand in anime, manga, and otherwise.
But in some respect, let's talk. Well, since we didn't really get the chance to talk about it last week, since I had internet troubles, trying to set up the internet, how about we talk about a show that I found myself rewatching time and time again while I'm at work, while I was cleaning, that being Armed Girls Machiavellianism, or Busso Shoujo Machiavellianism. Yeah, this show, by far, is one of the most entertaining things I have come across in quite a long time.
I don't know why you like this show so very much. It's fine. I don't dislike it. I wouldn't say it has like a whole lot of rewatch potential in my own personal expression.
I mean, people to each their own, but what I enjoy about this show personally is the fact that it goes into some sword techniques that I find very engaging and interesting. Sure, I can't read the fucking kanji on the screen to know what they fucking mean, but I'm okay with this. And plus, I find a lot of the humor in this show very funny. Plus, you see a man basically sumo wrestle a bear. What else?
That was pretty damn funny.
I mean, what else do you want in life?
You mean like in general? Like what else do I want in life?
I mean, yes.
Many things, Tony, many things.
But all in all, I would say that there's a lot of things that I typically enjoy in anime and manga, and Armed Girls Megavillianism is one of those things. Because it's one of those harem anime that I just enjoy, essentially because of its dub. Like, its dub is uproariously hilarious, at least to me.
I never watched the dub. I don't watch dubs.
That much is true, you don't. Unless you watch the dub first, and then you pretty much watch that series dubbed, if I remember correctly.
Very true. And also, I have watched the series dubbed because I heard the dub was a fantastic. Code Geass, prime example. So I'll watch it on recommendation, or if I encounter the anime first in a dub, then I will continue to watch it as such. But otherwise, I will pursue the sub. I've learned my lesson. Sometimes they just don't dub the things you love.
Yep, and I've learned that myself when they dubbed Defragments, and it wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it was funny, but it wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, sometimes they just don't live up to the expectations.
And they ruined one of my favorite jokes in the series, too, and it disappointed me greatly.
Yeah. But, yeah, that is all I had to say on matters.
And that's pretty much all I have to say, so I'm going to get a status on Jay.
How much you want to bet that he's busy?
I would say $5. Like, I would bet $5 that he's still in the middle of doing shit. And done. You know what's really amusing? I thought about this ahead of time, like at one point in time, Jordan. We should probably set up challenges for ourselves if we have, like, us individually have seen anime that fucked with us and we can't sit through it. I've always wanted to, like, have this one situation where if we can't get through it, let's see how far our fellow compatriots will get through an anime we can't even sit through.
We could literally sit here and do a live stream of the entire first season of Queen's Blade, and I guarantee you it will be a very uncomfortable watch. With that and Valkyrie Drive Mermaid.
Oh God, don't remind me of that.
So you've seen it?
Yes, I have. And knowing, like, most people should know that I love my Yuri shit, but sometimes too much is too much.
There are limits.
Yeah, there are limits to even my perversion.
But, you know, I've also, I mean, I say that, but at the same time, I've also seen both seasons of Sakugan no Quasar all the way through. So maybe I don't really have room to talk.
You personally have?
Yeah, I've seen them. I intentionally went and watched them.
Oh my God.
I've actually watched the first season multiple times now.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Yeah, so I probably don't have as much room to talk as I would like to imagine, but I've not made it through Valkyrie Drive Mermaid, nor have I made it through Queen's Blade. I would definitely challenge the two of our friends to try to make it through that with us in tow. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Brian is gonna be the first one to crack.
I would say he would definitely crack first. I will bet money that he would. Jay, he is a wild card on that one.
Yeah, Jeremy might just make it through via sheer force of will.
And maybe the sheer force of wanting to see titty.
I suppose there's plenty of it.
That's probably going to be my modus operandi, like the sheer force of will to see titty.
Like it's the only thing driving me in this world anymore.
I mean, and I will gladly throw Valkyrie Drive Mermaid into that ring, much like you said. And I just mainly want to see those two crack. Yeah, I want to see them just crack under the amount of, like, fuckery in that show. And just see Brian get uncomfortable would be fucking hilarious. Bitch didn't even respond to me. Motherfucker. Oh my god. I am in the mood to just, like, utterly destroy fucking Jay here.
I don't know why you thought that he'd be responded.
But, I'll fight him later.
Yeah. You good to call it?
Yeah, but essentially, I will call it on this end here, Jordan, so I'll let you take off, and if you're still in the mood to pretty much do what we were doing before we set up the episode, you can, since you have something to kind of tweak.
Oh, it's already tweaked. But yeah, let's go ahead and sign off and we'll talk about it.
All right, so I guess Jay's not going to be joining us. I might as well do like a special episode with him on it, basically making it a review portion. So I'll make another live stream shenanigan. But anyway, I will end things here. So check out Jordan's brother Quentin's channel. He makes some really good content.
Content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yep, check out that content. Tune in every week to tune in next week to see what shows we're going to be reviewing for fall 2018. And it is going to be our 20 episode mark. So join us for that.
Ooh.
Yeah, 20 episodes of this fucking shit, Jordan.
Tell me how you really feel, Tony.
Like, of us utterly just reviewing anime, discussing it at length, and just being utter shit posters at times. It has been fucking ride.
That it has.
So join us for our 20th episode. Hopefully we will make it special. No, that emphasis on the hopefully.
Yeah.
Or it could just be another plain old episode. Who knows? So catch you guys next week.